All right, we are live on YouTube.
Well, this is Todd Moore. Let's call the OpenJS Foundation board meeting to order for October 25th.
Thank you. All right, welcome everybody. Up on the screen, you can see the OpenJS Foundation board directory. We did not have a call last month because we ran out of time, but one of the changes that's happened since the August board meeting was that we now have a new Platinum director on the OpenJS Foundation board. We'd like to welcome Mr. Wansuk Lee, who is president at Joyent, and would also like to thank Steve Tuck for his service on the board over the past few years. Up on the screen, we have our meeting schedule. We are meeting today, and then we will also plan to meet again on November 22nd. In general, we meet around 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, or whenever the private session for the board meeting has come to a close. On the screen, we have the agenda for today. First up, we will approve the meeting minutes from the August board meeting. We'll give a brief update on the event, Node+JS Interactive, give a brief update on certification. We'll have a CPC update from Chris Borchers and Michael Dawson. Then we'll give a brief update on where we are with the transition, the ongoing merger from Node.js Foundation and JS Foundation. And then finally, we'll have a marketing update. Does anybody have any changes or additions to the agenda? Okay, the first order of business is to approve the August 23rd board meeting minutes from the public session.
Yeah,
Directors,
motion to approve, yes. This is Todd.
Seconded. Oh, Todd. That's Charlie or Michael.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Do we have any opposed? Do we have any abstains? Okay, motion carries. The minutes are approved. Okay, a brief update on the event. Node+JS Interactive 2019 is coming up. It will be in Montreal, December 10th to 12th. We are very grateful that we've had a number of organizations step up to sponsor. And if your organization is interested in sponsoring, please do get in touch with us. We would be very happy to have you. And if you're interested in attending, then we'd be very happy to have you as well. Here's on the screen, you can see there's a link to get to the registration page. I would just note that there will also be a collaborator summit, which is planned. This is planned for December 13th to 14th. This is complimentary, and the registration information is also on the website. And there will also be a speed networking and mentoring session on December 11th. So we're hoping that everybody is going to be able to visit us and participate in the event here in Montreal. And does anybody have any questions or have any comments on this? Okay. Moving on, let's have a CPC update. So Chris, Michael, would you like to give us an update on the CPC?
So yes, we've got the project charter template was drafted, and I think actually that's quite close to being landed. So that's moving forward. The proposal to move the travel fund to the OpenJS level has been approved. And basically we're starting to implement that. Their work on the code of conduct process has progressed. It's landed as stage 2. And there's a PR open to move it to stage 3, which is where basically becomes official. As we get some new projects joining, they are now starting to give us some feedback on that as well. So we may see some discussion there, which is great. And then on the application front, we've had a couple of public announcements of projects which are working at the incubation phase to join the foundation, and there are several others that are in the pipeline. So that's the update that we have this time.
Board, do we have any questions for Michael? Okay, great. Moving on, an update on the transition. So there are a few things that are in process, and these are things which have been going for a while, but this is a long-term process of finishing up a lot of the outstanding items that are remaining after the merger. As far as marketing services go, there are some meetings that are being set up and discussions that are being had by the marketing committee, but then also that are planned with the projects to discuss what specifically their marketing needs are going to be. This is for the hosted projects of the OpenJS Foundation. Some projects have higher marketing needs, some projects have lower marketing needs, and we really would just like to understand what that looks like as we go through our 2020 planning process. In addition, there's a fair amount of work going on right now. Jory Burson's been very actively involved in developing a full understanding of what the IT need is across the different projects at the OpenJS Foundation. In some cases, this is as simple as making sure that domain names get renewed, and that in other cases, this can be fairly more complex, and it really depends upon the needs of the project and the way that it's being used, as well as legacy infrastructure that's in place. So this is ongoing work, and it's been an enlightening process because there's a high degree of variability here between the different projects. The board has also been in the process of updating the legal documents, updating to reflect the fact that JS Foundation was merged into Node and became the OpenJS Foundation. This means that we need to change a number of things, and we need to harmonize the documents of the two different organizations. Recently, the board approved the updated trademark policy, as well as the trademark list. The board updated and approved the IP policy. And then also there are some updates to the membership agreement and bylaws. So very briefly, the update to the membership agreement and bylaws was not a major one. Essentially, for platinum members, it decreases the initial term from 3 years to 1 year. And the idea was to essentially bring this into harmony with many other organizations of the OpenJS Foundation size and structure. And one of the other things that's been an ongoing discussion, we've been discussing this on GitHub, but we are planning to forward the old Foundation sites, that's js.foundation and foundation.nodejs.org, to openjsf.org. We would not be getting rid of the content, and this will need to be a careful process because there probably are a fair number of links to various pages on these sites. But we do also want to make sure that when people are going to look for the foundation that's behind the projects, that they end up on the right site. So these are some ongoing tasks that we're working on here to continue to have the transition be a smooth one. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Marketing update. Unfortunately, Rachel Romoff is not able to join us today. She's on an airplane, so I will be a very poor substitute for her, and I will give the marketing update. The main thing is that there have been a substantial number of large announcements over the past 2 months. Looking at the OpenJS Foundation blog views, the page views, we increased 10 times from September to October, and that's largely because there's some massive news. So we have accepted the first 2 projects into incubating status, NVM and AMP. And then we also just recently announced the certification program, the Node.js certification program, and all of these things have driven a substantial amount of traffic and interest in the site. Looking at the website metrics, this again mirrors the spike in interest and activity because of these announcements that came out over the past few weeks. As expected, most of our visitors are new, and this is again reflecting the announcements that just came out. On social media, again, similar boosts. So Rachel, well done. She's not here, but just like everybody to know that we're very happy with the work that she has done here to ensure that this information and these announcements are socialized out. And same thing in terms of followership on LinkedIn and YouTube. The numbers are extremely high. Impressions up almost 7,000%. And again, this is reflecting the fact that these have been fairly popular announcements. And then finally, for media coverage, again, a large thanks to Robin and to Rachel for their work here, getting the word out. There have been a number of different news articles on certification and AMP and NVM, and then an article on Robin Ginn being named executive director. Does anybody have any questions about any of this?
No, I agree. Nice work by the marketing team.
Yep. They've done very well with this. The last item that I have, I don't have a slide for it, but just I do have it on the agenda, is about the certification program. Presumably everybody has seen the news that we have recently launched the Node certification program for the Node application developer and Node services developer exams. And these are available now. There have been a lot of questions about when it would be available. They are available now, and people are signing up to take the exam. If anybody has any questions about the exam, then we are certainly happy to help. You can find information on the website at openjsf.org/certification. You can also send an email to info@openjsf.org if you have a specific question about the exam or how to take it or where to take it or when, and we would be happy to help you get these things figured out.
It's great to see it actually up and available now. And I know we've had, many alpha and beta testers. So hopefully anybody interested will be able to take advantage of this and reap the benefits of being certified.
Okay, and that's the end of our regular agenda. Does anybody have anything to add? Any further discussion?
I think it's a lot happening here, and it shows that the staff is really, getting out there and helping to socialize this. And having Robin on board now is obviously a great thing to see. So this is very good. And thank staff again for pulling all this together for the board meeting and making it available to all of us.
Absolutely. We finished on time. We have 13 minutes to spare. This is a record.
There we go.
Yeah, and thanks to the board for having such great work before I stepped in. I'm sorry, I'm in a noisy place at the airport right now, but yeah, the team's really been doing great work for a long time. So thank you.
All right. Well, then let's call the meeting closed.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, folks. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Bye.